Welcome to the Sweet and Condensed Podcast, a podcast by people who love movies, people, and the magic that lives where they meet.
Yeah, so we were going to record another episode, but, there's a very typical thing very typical of Eric to just fall asleep. So we were going to do a whole spoilers episode on Project Hail Mary, but it looks like Eric fell asleep. I don't know if he can hear me. Eric just got COVID, so... Oh, hey, dude, you're alive. That's crazy.
What's going on, dude?
Oh, nothing. Just doing a little solo episode since you fell asleep.
There's no way. Oh, some water.
We don't have to do an episode, dude.
Dude, we're doing one. You already started it.
Yeah, but you're falling asleep. Dang, look, let's investigate. Is that a baby? Why would you stop right there? Cheeks full screen. Dude, that's crazy, dude. You legit fell asleep.
It was only like 2 minutes.
Oh, it was a very long time. You're going to jail. Why do you have a baby in your room?
The kid sent me with a baby, dude.
Oh, so what does that mean? Am I a bad person now?
How do I zoom in?
What do you mean the kid sent you with a baby?
They were like, take it to remember us. They get so mad when I leave.
Well, as they should. You're abandoning them, dude.
That's way too
What if you don't come back?
Oh,
okay,
man.
Anyways, earlier I was talking to your cousins, and they were watching Spectrum, Love on the Spectrum. Have you seen it? I heard it's really good, but I've never watched it.
You fucker.
What the hell? Who are you calling a fucker?
Oh, this stupid thing, the camera went out.
Oh.
He hates what the actual fuck is that baby, bro. The Scorch are watching Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah, I'd never seen it, and they say it's like the best, most wholesome, loving show. I've never seen it, though. Also, they say hi.
It was popping across, actually, just a minute ago on my Netflix, like, what to watch.
I need to check it out. Anyways, so now that Eric's awake, we are for sure going to do a spoilers episode of Project Hail Mary, and so there's definitely going to be complete spoilers. We're going to ruin the movie. You should go watch the movie. You should listen to this episode and then go watch it again, or listen to this episode, watch it, and then read the book, and then watch it again, or read the book, watch the movie. Why do I feel like we've had this episode before? Have we done this?
Project Hail Mary?
Yeah.
No, we have not.
I have no idea. Oh, I think it's because we were talking about it. Never mind. In the Oscars episode about anticipating that movie and gonna be great. Anyways, Eric, let's go. Let's dive into it. Let's ruin this movie. You said you watched it once, twice with the kids, once but without them.
Watched it once solo in opening night.
Ooh. You went opening night?
Yeah, dude.
I went opening night.
No, you didn't. I wrote the newsletter.
That's great.
That's
insane. Did we both write it?
The second time, the following weekend with Pax, my brother, my dad, and I loved it, dude. I'm a big Ryan Gosling guy, but like, it was just so well done. I mean, yes, it was long. Dude, I was a mess. Like,
do you really think, like, okay, I know we're going to talk about time length and stuff, because yes, it's a long movie, but like, did you notice how long it was? Could you feel it?
No. I'm just saying that as like, if you're curious, if you don't like long movies, I didn't feel it either time.
Okay. I think it's worth it. It was so much fun. Oh, also, we're not going to talk about the book whatsoever. We're going to save that for another episode. So don't worry about the book if you're thinking about it. We're not going to compare. Anyways, you loved it. You got emotional. Did you cry?
Oh, dude, big time. When, spoiler alert, I thought homeboy Rocky was dying, because I didn't read the full book. So I didn't know he'd survive, remember? So when he's burning the hell up like a piece of toast, I thought it was over. I was a mess.
Dude, no, it's crazy. The second I said we're not going to talk about the book at all, you immediately started talking about the book. Anyways, but for real though, dude, I thought the way that they did that, oh my gosh, dude. Because, okay, so I wasn't sure. One, I got really sad that they spoiled they showed Rocky in the trailer. But then the way he looked, I don't know, for some reason just got better and better. Like, just like I at first, like in the trailers, like, oh, he looks kind of gimmicky or silly, but dude, Rocky was the shit, man. I like felt for him, like you're saying, like, dude, when you legit think he's not gonna make it, it hurt. I mean,
I love that he was a puppet. I love that he was a puppet, that he wasn't fully CGI. I know they had probably a lot of work to do behind the scenes, but it felt so good.
yeah. Well, dude, no, the Rocky was real. Like he was a puppet.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no
love that.
CGI. Oh, am I drunk now?
I think you're drunk. That's what I'm saying. I love that it was a puppet, and I'm sure they had to do. What I'm saying is, I'm sure they had to do a little bit of workaround with certain scenes.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
And the voice actor, I don't know who he was. I didn't know before the movie, but like, shout out the homie James Ortiz, voice actor
also,
for Rocky.
James Ortiz is also he was also the main puppeteer. Like there's a lot of people puppeteering, but like he was the main one, and he's also the voice. So like he was on set as a puppeteer person and also doing the voice in real time.
Are you kidding me? That's incredible.
Dude, I just think, like, when you think of like these relationships, or we think about like animals, and you get like, because even in my mind, like Rocky was maybe to humans more animal, but he was a being, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Like the beingness of him, and how emotional I got over, his relationship with Grace. Is that his name, Grace? Ryland Grace, yeah. Yes, Grace. Like, dude, there was so much depth into it where, I don't know, it being your only friend, and then I love how the movie made the alien instantly like a friend and not like a foreign invader or a threat. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think that the way they developed their relationship, and again, that to our point of like the length of the movie, I didn't feel it because I think they did such a good job developing their relationship. So the bit in the movie where he's doing that selfie video, when Dr. Grace is doing the selfie video of like personal spaces at a premium, he can hear through walls, like that lands because of what they did to develop their friendship, develop their relationship. And again, I don't know the time we got to spend with him before that. Just, it was so endearing. And again, to your point, in the trailers, it might have seemed a certain way with Rocket, but dude, it just, all of it landed. Every bit with them landed, the jokes, the relationship. The scene that absolutely fucking kills me and stuck in my brain forever is when he said, "Ew, Grace looked disgust when eat." And he's like, "How do you look when you're eating?" He goes, "It looked beautiful." Like just the way it came across, and the voice acting plus the puppeteering of him, like, it looked beautiful. And he like stands up and just fists himself. Like just all of that lands because of what they were able to accomplish before. I loved it so much. It was so endearing.
Yeah, I'm curious if the movie was any shorter, if I would have felt like it was rushed. If I would have, I wonder if I would have felt the other side of it, of saying like there wasn't enough time to develop the relationship, or we don't know the length of time that they spent out there. How long was he traveling? Like it was only said, but it wasn't shown. I think that them showing, like you're saying, those moments that don't feel as maybe someone might think it's not as necessary. I was like, no, this was so important. So that way, like there was the wowness, the awness, the scary. Well, first I guess it was a little scariness, but then they're like starting to get to know each other and they're developing, and even the sleeping and him watching. He's like, I watch you sleep, and he dragged his whole cot out there and picking his voice too. It was so funny. It was so like them building that sweet friendship. So that way when he not invited, I should say, Rocky forced himself onto his ship, and he's like, I move in, where's my room? Dirty, dirty, dirty. And he was doing all those jokes and all running around.
Oh my gosh.
Made that just so much better, dude. Because I didn't expect, well, like I knew it was going to be funny because it's Ryan Gosling, and I think there's always an element of humor, but I did not expect so much like belly, like deep laugh, and also such emotion from, I don't know, like I knew, again, like I read the book, so I knew it was emotional. I knew it had some humor in it, but I was like, how are we gonna see that from The Rock? How's the Rocky gonna look like and all that? But dude, the hugs, the breakdowns when he realizes he's not really going to die, or not die the way he thought he was going to die. Not to say he does die, but there's so many more challenges that he might end up dying. Dude, it was just, I don't know. I just, again, maybe I'm biased. Like you said, we're big Ryan Gosling fans, but I just thought he was, one, the perfect cast, but two, just when he like hugged the ball that one time.
It was a full movie in so many ways, because I think about like, this is so bizarre, and I know it's cheesy, but like it's stuck in my brain. Disclosure Day, the trailer for Disclosure Day, separate movie, separate director, separate cast, hasn't even come out yet. But there's a comment in Disclosure Day's trailer where someone is saying, like, why would he create such a vast universe and save it just for us? Right? It's talking about aliens and why would God create whatever it ends up being. I've thought about that a lot since I saw the trailer for the first time. And then going in to watch Project Hail Mary, I've taken that same approach of like, I love the idea of how vast the universe is, and like a relationship that can be formed with another. I don't know. Is there life out there? Who knows? I love to think there is, especially after watching movies like this. Not when there's horror shit, like not aliens that are going to eat us, but it's that idea of like, and again, it's just, who's doing Disclosure Day? Is it Spielberg?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like, yeah, I know it's Spielberg just writing a fire script, but like, why would God create such a vast universe just for us? I loved that thought as I watched this movie. And that's why I think it was a full movie. Because again, I laughed a ton, definitely cried over Rocky when I thought it was R.I.P. Rocky. But then I was held in thought as to like, what could be out there? What are the possibilities? How small are our brains? How small are we in the scale of the universe? Scary to think about, but also pretty fun.
No, I agree. And I loved that it did make me think so much about, it wasn't your typical like end of the world. This is a cautionary tale. I don't know if you saw Don't Look Up, but the Don't Look Up from 2021 or 2022, they're saying something. Like it's satirical, it's funny, but it's saying something about the government, saying something about leadership, saying something about politics, it's saying something about capitalism. It has so much, whatever, conversation about things. But this movie was like, hey, the world's ending, but it was like more on the hopeful side, or showing that like, we're going to show you what the best parts of humanity are. Like, how cool is it that the first contact with alien species in this world, in that movie, in Project Hail Mary, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to run tests, I'm going to capture, I'm going to imprison. And then the alien wasn't like, I'm going to imprison you and I'm going to capture. And then also the fact that the other, Rocky, the Iridians, they're like so much more advanced in so many ways than the human. And at the same time, the humans were so much more advanced with like relativity or understanding. Like there wasn't like this like, oh, we're better and you guys are quote unquote primitive, or there was no tension of like, oh, we're trying to take over the world. It was literally like two species of beings being like, we're literally sacrificing ourselves to try to save everything. We're trying to save our world. We're trying to save all our species. And that kind of act, and how he's like, we don't, what did it, because there was like 23 or 22 other Iridians. And he's like, they all die. I can't fix, because he fixes things. He's an engineer. He's a builder, right? And he's like, I can't fix. And now it's just me. And then Ryland's like, yeah, it was me and two other people, and they also died in a coma. And now it's just me. And then Rocky's like, no, it's just us. And he's like, yeah, that's right. It's just us. That connection of like, we have nobody, but we have a common mission of just saving. And well, I guess Rocky knew he was going to go back, but also Rocky didn't know about relativity. So that means Rocky didn't know how much time was actually passing back on Earth, and on what's their planet called? Iridian 40?
Yeah.
Or something. Maybe it's Iridian and they call them Iridians. Yes, right? On their planet Iridian. If they didn't know about relativity and time whatever, then that means they were like, oh, he's going to go away for 30 years. That means we are going to experience 30 years. But in reality, Rocky was experiencing less time than people back home. So anyways, my point is, he thought he'd go back home the same way, but Ryland or Grace thought he was going to die. Anyways, my point is that I just thought that that's such a beautiful story. Like these worlds are ending. something's killing them, and it's not even from a violent attack. It's just from a species that's like, hey, this is what they need. What were those little things? Astrophage? They're not like malicious. They just needed to eat what is it? Carbon dioxide or something? Anyways, it was such an interesting story for that reason.
And at the end, him living in harmony with them just for a moment, like that was, I think that's such a good call out of it wasn't, because Interstellar, all these movies, right? Phenomenal movies, but they have a dread about them that even though that was the premise of this movie, the sun dying,
Right.
you didn't feel that. And again, there was still tragedy, right? When the first group of scientists died in the explosion, which is why he was forced to go on this trip. Like that was not chill. When they showed him getting sedated and put in an induced coma, like that was not amazing. Somehow still they kept a hopefulness about the movie. And like, I think it's a great point. It's like they didn't imprison he didn't imprison Rocky, and it wasn't this battle over fuel when he offered it so that he can get home slower. And like, that was phenomenal. But there was even that scene where he was talking to, what's her name? Homegirl.
Strat?
Eva Strat, yeah. When one of them asked the other one, like, do you believe in God? And oh yeah. And she goes, it's better than the alternative. So like she was pretty cynical. And again, I know she wasn't amazing for kidnapping him essentially. But even with that, it's almost like this, well, like, hey, let's have hope. Let's like, I don't know. I love that about the movie.
Right. And I mean, yeah, though it's shitty, Ryland Grace didn't want to go, didn't believe in himself. And I think Strat, yes, like she's doing what's best. She's doing, she's on a mission. She was pretty cutthroat, right? She was pretty like, no, we're doing certain things and there's going to be collateral, but you need to remember, like, we're saving the world, and that's what we're going to do what it takes. But I think also she wouldn't have sedated him and sent him against his will if she didn't have hope or believe in him in completing the mission, which I think was, again, a positive, hopeful thing about this movie. Not so much like, I don't know, just I think there's enough movies about like cruelty, or there's enough movies that are like, the end of the world, and we need to learn how to take care of each other, which is true. I think we do need to learn that. But rather than doing it out of fear, we're going to do it out of love, or we're going to do it out of relationship or out of relationality. Because like, that's what's crazy, is that Ryland Grace didn't even want to go on this mission to save humanity. And then he doesn't even remember what he's doing on this trip. And then when he remembers that he went out there against his will, he then chooses to go to Arid, even though he knows he's going to die. Like, and it's not even his own people, and it's not even his own world. And he's like, I got to turn around. I got to go save Rocky and save his world. That's like wild. Like, that is a really wild thing. And I feel like that's teaching us how to take care of the other, whoever the other is for people. I think the other can show up in so many different ways. And I think a lot of it can be the earth, and a lot of it can be different people that look different, or different gender, or whatever it may be. But like, doing it out of a place of love, rather than saying, if we don't get along, like, the world's going to burn and be hate. And again, I think that they're speaking the same message, but I think the mode of which you do it, or like the vehicle or the vessel of which you're communicating this message, I don't know. Maybe I just like the relational love part a little bit more, the more heartfelt part of that message, rather than, because dude, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, would a human actually, like, would an American human actually go to Arid and actually like sacrifice themselves for another species? I don't know.
Well, and also too, if you think
maybe
about
that's the cynic in me, but
all the world governments working together for a solution was a pretty unrealistic thing, but it was an amazing part of the movie. Such a small piece, but like, yeah, right. Would we ever all agree and come to this conclusion? And like the scenes where he's presenting to them and asking them questions, and in unison, they're like, we don't know. Like, I love that. I know that's not how the world works. So that's where I think, like, even though she kidnapped him, even though the son is dying, even though the first group of scientists died in the explosion, there was hopefulness throughout the whole thing. Seeing all these leaders, like even at the beginning when it's like, we all preferred that you wouldn't die. And she's like, clap, and just all these people of different ethnicities and governments, like, fucking awesome, so fun. And so also, it was interesting when he noticed that his crew was dead and did little ceremonies for them. Like, I don't really know you, but you seem to have a lot of friends. And then we learn later in the movie, he doesn't have anybody. When you said the other, it was interesting because everyone else had like traditional family or friends. And for him, it's like Rocky was his other. And it didn't have to be a girlfriend at home, even though that part was still hilarious of like Rocky hate Mark. Amazing. But like, it wasn't the traditional what you think is your other or your person. And yet he still valued and took care of Rocky.
Right. And I think all he had was his kids, and maybe the movie, because I didn't think the movie did a good enough job of making that like attachment to his kids. Like his students, not his kids, right? And I think, but that probably, again, I think what you just said made me realize, oh, it might not have spoken. They could have done a better job of, maybe if they would have built up his love for being a teacher and being students, the leaving, his going against his will would have hit harder, or the ending scene with the baby, the kid Rockies or the kid Iridians.
Oh, yeah.
That would have hit harder or whatever. But what you just said made me realize, like, but that hit, the fact that he did it for Rocky as an individual, that hit really hard, because it was like, yeah, they didn't really play up him being a teacher. They didn't play up his love for the students. They didn't play up all that stuff. But I think that that is an interesting point to say that he did all that for one person, and that was Rocky, and also to like be like, I don't know what's going to happen over there. Like, imagine going to a world that isn't made for you, but you're like, I'm doing it to save people. So then you end up, just gambling on like, hopefully they take care of me. And that's the insane thing they did. Also, I found out that you mentioned the Rocky hate Mark part. I was reading, or I watched an interview with Ryan Gosling, and he said that his friend Mark was on set that day, so he improv'd that line. He said,
"Oh my God!"
He wanted to make him laugh, so he said, he went on and said, "But now she's with Mark." That wasn't originally in there, but he ad-libbed that, and then James Ortiz then improv'd back saying, "Rocky hate Mark," and I'm like, dude, I'm so glad they left that in there, because that was like one of the funnier moments of that. And then I do agree with you, the whole where he's like, who are you talking to? Who Grace talking to? Hi Grace friend, when he's doing the like that whole montage, dude. Gold.
I see now, and I knew it, but I'm not big into a lot of animated films aside from like traditional Disney, because we have kids. I see now the value of a good voice actor in recent years, because Mario movies, we were talking about it in the last episode, like cool, great, fun movies, Chris Pratt, Brie Larson, like good folks, like fun. But when you get a really talented voice actor, it can go a long way. Like I've heard, I don't watch anime, so I don't know. Maybe we need Skylar on the podcast to talk about it, but I've heard Robert Pattinson does a great job in an anime, right? And so it's like some people can cross over from like a traditional movie to voice acting, but it makes a difference. And again, this wasn't cartoon by any means, but Mark Hamill stands out to me as Joker in all the Batman Arkham Knight games. Just fucking unbelievable as a Joker. Heath Ledger's the best, but it's funny, every time people have this conversation, they're like, hey, we can't forget Mark Hamill, even though it was animated, because it's just unbelievable how he brings character to life. So like you're saying, that scene, hi Grace friend, like just his tone in screenplay is amazing. But the delivery took it to another level of like, which is what got Paxton to want to watch the movie. Like, it's just, there's so many layers to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. No, I agree. And the Robert Pattinson anime is the American dubbed of the Boy and the Heron, and he plays the voice of the Heron. And Robert Pattinson is just a freak, dude. He's so good. Honestly, if he's not doing a weird, freaky, strange accent, I'm pretty bummed. Like, for the drama, he did great. Like, it's one of his best performances. He doesn't have an accent. Mickey 17, he has an accent. Mickey 17 might not be as enjoyable as the drama. The drama was definitely more enjoyable as like a whole. But dude, whatever the hell he was doing in Mickey 17, I was like, it's working. It's hilarious. So to your point though about like voice acting, like I watched that whole movie and you would not be able to tell that's Robert Pattinson at all. And like William Dafoe pops in there as a character and you're like, oh, that's William Dafoe. It's still great, but you know it's William Dafoe. So someone that's literally like becoming the character. It's the same thing when I mean, it's probably harder as a performer, but like, you know, when you're watching a movie, you're like, oh yeah, that's Jennifer Lawrence. It feels like Jennifer Lawrence, or, you know, but when she is in a role, or any actor who's in a role where you're like, I'm not thinking about Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not thinking about Cillian Murphy. I'm not thinking about whoever it may be, right? It's them. Like they are that actor, which maybe people have a hard time with Ryan Gosling. I don't know. Like, are you always cognizant where you're like, oh yeah, it's because we've had this argument, so we don't need to beat this idea or let this, what is it called? Record play? Well, I don't know. There's all those phrases. I'm always bad with them, especially when my brain's not working. It's getting, what's the broken record?
Broken record.
Yes.
You didn't want to say beat a dead horse.
Well, I already said the dog. I don't have a dog in this fight, dude. So it's like, dang, I think you only get like one pass on like cruelty or something. So we're going to feed two birds with one loaf of bread. No, I think we talk about him having range or not all the time. And we had that whole episode about range and stuff. But I think part of it not having range, I think often means I am aware that his character is his character. He is the actor. He's not the character. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
I was hyper aware the whole movie was him. But I was okay. I wanted that. You know what I mean? And again, it fit. If it doesn't fit, maybe it stands out more.
Charismatic, and it's Ryan Gosling. It's like, I don't want to forget who Ryan Gosling is. That sounds like
comment
that's blasphemous.
On the whiteboard at one point when he was like, always
muscles. Dude, okay. I'm just going to do a little side tangent because, and I know we said we're not going to talk about the book and stuff, but this is only going to make sense if I mention that. But underneath always muscles, did you read what it said? Something about cilantro. Like, I like cilantro.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that made me think, like, I want to write a whole piece about that because there's so many phrases. Like, I want to go back and watch it again and try to remember everything on that whiteboard because there were so many funny things on there. Those two are the ones that stand out. But liking cilantro, because you know what, do you know about that? Like, where people are like, do you have the gene? Do you have the gene if you like cilantro? Because to some people, cilantro tastes good. And to other people, it tastes like soap. Have you heard people talk about this?
No, what?
Really? This is a very common thing where people are like, oh, do you have the gene for, at least in New Mexico. I don't know if it's out here. Shout out, hit us up in the chat, hit us in the DMs. Let us know if you know, are one, aware of the cilantro gene thing. Two, if you have the gene. And three, if you like cilantro. Me, I'm not a big cilantro fan. And does it taste entirely like soap? I don't think so, but I'll eat it. But there are people who are legitimately convinced. I bet you, if I even look this up, cilantro gene soap.
Okay. Oh, yep.
Okay, so there's a receptor gene, specifically the OR6A2 olfactory receptor gene. People with this are hypersensitive to these compounds in both cilantro and soap, making it taste like soap or to some dirt or insects. So there's this genetic thing. Well, again, this is like bonus, I guess. We'll talk about this way more in the book to movie adaptation. In the movie, or in the book, only a certain amount of people were coma resistant, and they all had to be tested for the gene to be correct. And if they had this specific gene, it would mean they're more than likely to survive the 4 years in the coma. That's how Ryland Grace ended up being put in the pool, because they tested him and he had the gene that was coma resistant for the going out, because they were really afraid that people would die from this coma, from being in a coma for too long. But they did this research and they found out that there are people who have a gene that are coma resistant. Anyways, they don't talk about that in the movie at all. They just said, even he's like, I don't have the bravery gene. And then the captain who died, who he does the ritual for, he ends up saying, you don't need a gene, you just need to find someone you're brave for. Again, that's at the end when he finds out Rocky to be brave for.
Wow.
But the gene is a reference to the book, I think, would be my assumption. So there's these Gene comments throughout and the cilantro on the whiteboard made me think they were trying to connect that to Ryland Grace, because always muscles do like cilantro.
Damn, I do. And I feel like there was another one about like stomach does okay with something. It was like some kind of food, because there were some funny ones. Now that you say that, I need to go see it again for the same thing.
And then take out your phone and take a picture for me, because I will never open my phone in a movie theater ever again. But yeah, dude, it's so funny. But yeah, the fact that also he's 45, that's insane. Always muscles, 45. Fuck off, Ryan Gosling. But also, good for you.
The last thing I'll say is, every single scene, I was like, I need his shirt. I need the fit.
Dude,
every one of them.
That said I had potential or something about potential.
Yeah, I had potential.
Dude, the Fox shirt, dude, all of it, dude. I agree. The fit was fire, dude. Oh, we didn't even talk about half the shit that's awesome. So we're going to rapid fire real quick. Dude, the visuals were fucking Greg Fraser, who also did Dune, dude. So, dude, these visuals were so
unbelievable.
Sick, dude. Like the red, the Petra infrared light scenes.
That was the craziest thing in the whole world,
dude. I was transcending. I was elevating. I was levitating. All the different floating ings. Soundtrack was great. Music, dude. The Harry Styles karaoke, dude.
Unbelievable.
Would that be your karaoke song for the end of the world?
Absolutely not. Also, okay, I think it was really cool that she sang.
Absolutely.
I think it was really cool that she sang.
They should have kissed.
I wanted more from that scene. It was, I don't know, that's not a complaint. It's just like, now that we're talking about that scene where he went and chatted with her upstairs, and then she came down and sang, I needed a little more. I don't know. I just felt, but it was one of those movies where there's like 6 cast members that like mattered. So It is what it is. But
yeah,
I listened to that song
loved it
all the time, dude.
Really?
All the time. No.
Oh.
Who's
the Harry Styles version?
No, it's not even the Harry Styles version.
Oh, the one you sent me. It's like I don't know who sings that. Dude, I don't know. I love that scene.
Sign of the times.
I thought that scene was like so perfect and great to show that character as, I don't know, breaking.
It's called
like she's
geek music.
Geek music? Project Hail Mary. I wonder if it's still Harry Styles.
Damn, maybe. I
think that's Harry Styles, just different. We're also going to get flagged now for copyright, so.
Damn.
But we're critiquing, so leave it up, Spotify. No, dude, I don't know. I think I would push back a little bit and just say that scene, I think, was, or at least not push back for me, I should say. It did it. I think it did enough
just
for me.
say,
I think.
Tell me to shut the fuck up.
No. No. Yeah, it's valid. Your take is valid. Sure. Okay, I get it. But also, for me, I was like, for someone who, that doesn't like, I personally don't do karaoke. I don't sing. I think I'd be embarrassed because I'm a narcissist, as we found out on the previous episode. If you don't know what we're talking about, just skip backwards. I think I get embarrassed of singing and all that. But you have someone who has the power of all the governments and the world leaders and world powers, and she has this moment up that like opens up with Grace about how she used to sing in choir, but she's not going to go in there because she's a leader and she wants everyone to have their moment and doesn't want it to be ruined by her presence being, with power and being this big whatever. But then I don't know, there's a part of me, it's like, she's like, wait, yeah, I don't want to ruin that for them, but also I don't want to take this from me. Like I'm scared too, or I'm a person too, or like, yes, I'm a leader, but man, this is not just the end times for all these people going on this mission and sad. It's like, she had the hard job to sedate and force him to go, so I don't know. For me, I think the first time I watched it, I would have like been like, yeah, that was my take too. But second time I watched it and sitting on it and thinking about it, I need to watch it a third time though, before I fully commit to anything, but it is amazing. But they took it out of IMAX, dude. Freaking,
I know, I saw that.
What movie took it out? It's so dumb.
Super Mario.
Is it the Super Mario? See, dude, take that one off. Put it back on next. Anyways, I'm sure we have a lot more to say about this, but you're falling asleep. I'm falling asleep.
I was asleep at the beginning of the episode, but I rallied. Yeah, final take. Go see it in theaters for sure. We're gonna do another episode about the book. Is that
Hopefully
right?
Eric actually listens to it or reads it.
I'm hanging up now.
Dude, you should be on the episode. Otherwise, it's gonna be me and I don't know who else. Sarah. I don't know.
Started
We'll have
this
to check it
episode
out.
solo. Yeah.
Maybe Amarique and Noah, but
Tune into the newsletter.
subscribe to the newsletter. We got maybe a double feature, or maybe actually it's going to come out after that. So maybe you already experienced it. Turn into the newsletter, sweetandcondensed.com. We got the podcast, all the posts there as well. Shout out, maybe if we get 150 subs, we'll do more essays or something because I'm actually slacking. I want to write more, but I'm not doing that. So that's also where we'll post red cap essays. Give us money, Patreon. We'll turn on Substack paid subscribers at some point. Hit us in the chat. We do have Substack chat going. I don't know. That's all I got.
Substack chat is fun. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening, watching.